Hey y'all, good morning and welcome to Happi Art Creations. My name is Tammy and I want to welcome you to a day of fun, and hopefully whatever I'm doing today I can help you maybe spark some happy in your heart. There's a lot going on, some tornadoes in the south here. I live in the south in Tennessee, and there was a lot of tornadoes south of us and to the east of us, and some people really, there was a lot of damage, some deaths, and so our hearts go out to them and our thoughts and prayers. So anyhow, yeah, it's been a rough few months, hasn't it, y'all? Well, anyhow, today I was thinking, man, I've been stuck in this house. I've been stuck, you know, everybody's quarantined. So I thought, where do I want to be right now? I want to be at the beach. And that's just the way it is. Okay, I want to be at the beach. So today I'm going to do a swipe of sorts. It's going to be a mixed technique where I'm going to use, believe it or not, I'm going to use little kitty shovels. I might not use these, but this is very good for doing any kind of swipes, and I'll show you the techniques that I'm doing. Oops, might even use this. I'm not sure, but there's all kinds of techniques that you can do with it. This is just a little piece of little file paper. I gotta get used to that camera. This one here is a bigger piece, and it's just something, a little piece of plastic that you could swipe across your paints. You can also use, you know, everybody has those little paint chips, you know what I mean? Like that, and here, and you can have them different sizes. I even have them bigger. I may or may not use these, and I might. Always have some paper towels on hands. This is kind of messy, and that's okay. I'm all right with messy. So let me get a few things out of the way. This is an old canvas. Well, I wouldn't call it all old. It was just a canvas that when I did the first thing, I thought, you know, I just don't like the way this turned out, so I kind of scraped it. Sometimes you just have to. You can't save it. So let me go over my colors real quick, and I'm going to move these. Also want to remind you to like. If you do, I hope you do, but go ahead and like it and subscribe to my channel. I would love you to do that. And hit the bell. And it'll pop up, and hit that all button so you can get your notifications. This would mean a lot to me, and I'm just very thankful if you do. I do this for free, so I'm very thankful for being here and getting to do what I love. But I'd like to share for people how to do a simple art that can become something most beautiful. Okay, this is quinacridone magenta. This is definitely thicker. This is definitely thicker than what we used. For the Dutch pour, it's about 1 part paint, 2 parts pouring medium. Now my pouring medium is just Floetrol and water for consistency. So my consistency still should fall off, but when we do it, see, it leaves a little trace. And that's what we're looking for, not too much. We don't want it to go away like the Dutch pour one. Oh, gee whiz. Anyhow, this here's just a warm yellow, and I added a little bit of my wonderful 24 karat gold to this. I have my orange. This is just gorgeous. Now this one might be a little thick, and you know what? I always have my water close by. And here's oops, well, we won't use that. Here I am. And I'm just going to put a touch. Just a touch, and see if we can't loosen that up just a little bit. Sometimes when they sit, I made these up. These have been made up before, but anyhow, that's still kind of thick. There's always one that gives you trouble. I'm telling you. How dare it? Okay, so here we go. That's what we're looking for. So that's my warm sky. This right here is Viridian a Viridian Blue green. It's absolutely gorgeous, and what I did with this one right here, I put a color shift, and it kind of just gives it up. There we go. See how the lights just kind of shimmer off? Well, when you have your ocean, well, by golly, it does shimmer, and the light shines on it, and the sun catches it. And so I added a little bit to this one right here. This one's a lightened sapphire that I did. It's a metallic, so it already has a little shine, so I didn't add anything to that. This here was a phthalo blue, and I wanted it to be kind of more my horizon line kind of, sort of. And anyhow, I added a little bit of Prussian blue just to deepen it up just a little, and see how gorgeous and rich that is. And for another highlight color, you know, I like my aqua, so this is like a light turquoise actually, but it kind of looks more like an aqua today. I've got my metallic white, because that's what we're going to use for our waves, kind of, sort of. And that's what we're going to do. Now again, metallics are a little bit thicker and I'm okay with it being thick. I do not want it to be thin. Now when we get started, what makes this a fun project also, because we're going to get fun little, you know, the ocean has bubbles and things like that. And so what we're going to do is add a little bit of silicone. Now I've added silicone to all of my paints except my white. And this is what I use. I use the Treadmill. Oops, I gotta get used to this. The Spot On Treadmill lubricant. Well, it fell, and as you can see, my lid broke. But it's still usable. I lost most of it, and I just kind of squeezed one of these little things here, and I'm just gonna put 2 small drops into that. Now, some people say that if you stir it up real good or stir it up, there's always a controversy over something and stuff like this. But you know what? I found that if I don't stir it up real good, I have these giant cells, or I have cells that aren't real consistent. So I don't want real big giant cells, and I'm hoping I don't get giant ones. But you'll see what I mean when I do what I'm doing. Okay? Alrighty. So that's got what it needs, and I've already put the other 2 drops in the other ones to go. So what I want to do with this, and believe it or not, this is fun. I could easily just go ahead and pour the paint over here like this, but I think I'm going to do it, and I'm still going to swipe, but I think I'm going to apply it with this. And I don't want my sky, my sunset, because you know I want to be sitting in my chair at the sunset and watching it go down. So I think I'm just going to have my sunset out like that and have my ocean closer to me, and we'll start with the darks and kind of layer it like that. And that's what my bigger one is. This one here has a bigger opening. We'll see. I'm not quite sure, but here we go. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and may have to do a couple swipes with this, but I'm just going to pour it in here like that. And they're going to blend, and I'm okay with that, okay? Then I'm going to put the warm yellow, because sunsets are kind of, you've got all the pinks and the yellows and the oranges, and anyhow, things are just gorgeous like that. I'm not going to add any white to this one, and here we go. It's as simple as this. I'm going to get it started over the edge a little. Here we go, and I'm just going to apply it, and you can move around and do your designs, and I'm going to keep working on it as far as it'll let me go. Okay, looks like that's about it. So we'll load it up again just like we did before. Now I could have done this. I could have done this just by pouring it on, but I don't know. I kind of like doing it this way too. I'm not worried about if the colors mix, because by golly, that's just what it does anyhow in the sky. That's the way God made it. He mixes it. He's the greatest artist. Okay, and then we're going to add this. And again, I'm not too worried about even having too much paint, because I'm going to tilt, and I'm going to start back about here. Okay, we should be able to go a little bit. We should be able to go the rest of the way if I do it right. Alright, I did good. Alright, letting that, see how it pours out, and it's really nice. I'm just going to let that go over the sides like that. And since I missed a little bit over here, let's just go ahead and get started. Now that's about all I want with that. So I'm going to set this aside, and I can even pitter patter and put around with a little bit of paint on the sides and let it go down. But we're going to move it around, but I don't like to waste paint. So if I have a little bit of paint left in it, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's see if we can get that, because this little bit, it looks like a mess, but it's not going to be when we're done. So let me set that aside, okay? Alright, our next one's going to be the fun one. Now of course I want to put the dark up on this side right here. I'm kind of afraid to put it in this thing, so it may mix. So let me be a little bit more, don't you love these spoons? More direct. And it's okay if these mix. And I'm going to do it just like this. Looks like I got something, yep, on my thing. Mix it like this, and I'm not worried about that I'm not filling it all in, because it will be. And I'm thinking that's going to be my dark. And I'm going to start letting some of that kind of mingle in. See, I'm not afraid to do this. Just go for it. It's fun. And it's okay. Alright, the next one's a little bit of beautiful, beautiful Sapphire. It's a light sapphire. And I'm going to overlap a little bit on that. See how I did that one? But I still want this one to be more so down this area. Just like that. Okay. Next one is going to be our darker green, and I am going to overlap. So far so good. Anybody could do this. This is great for any beginner to do. It's hard to do it wrong. And even sprinkle a little bit up there and let the rest kind of over here. Because the closer to the shore, which we're not going to show the shore on this one. Although I could put a little bit of gold. Gold never hurts. Alright, then we've got our last but not least beautiful aqua. I hope I have enough paint by. I got to thinking this might not be, but let's see if I can get it to go. Let's see if I can work this out. I'm not finished, by golly, not at all. Okay, let's go ahead and add little highlights up in here, which is fine. And I've got my white. Now white, I'm going to do interspersingly, kind of intersperse it. Put it in between all the lines. Good grief, you ever have words that just kind of tangle up your tongue? Well, that's what mine are doing. Alright, see where all the openings are? You know, we've got little white caps on our waves, and sometimes you can see them out there. Yeah, just like that. Let me put some more down here now, because there should be more down in this area. Let me get all of that out. We are going to swipe this area, all of these areas, so it's all going to mix together. Okay. Alright, is there any more left on this? Don't want to miss it. I love these spoons. See how these spoons, you can just get in there and it kind of cups it up. Sometimes sticks don't even let you do that. We'll get all that together. Let's get that Viridian with that beautiful. Mix that down in here a little bit. I don't know if you can hear it. I've got the ocean sound in the background. It just runs and runs and runs. It's just the ocean sound. Alright, so we're going to get that. And I'll fill in some of these spots because the ocean's all different colors. Alright? Depending, the closer you are, the lighter it looks, usually. And depending on where you are, the differences in the color of the ocean is that too. Got a little bit left here. Okay. We'll go ahead and put some more up top here. I am going to add a little bit more sky. And when I do that this time, I think I'm just going to intersperse it like this. That was my word before. My husband says I speak fluent Blondinese. Well, he's had to learn Blondinese if he wants to get through to me and understand what I'm saying. Anybody else get that? I'm blonde to the core. Absolutely blonde to the core. And I'm okay with that because that's the way I was made. Makes life very interesting. If I have any other fellow Blondineses in my tribe, let me know, okay? Because, you know, you never know what's going to happen with us. But I do say that life is fun. Let's go ahead and enjoy it. This one's all gone. So we basically filled this all in. I'd have a little bit of yellow and a little bit, and a little bit of the magenta, but I'm not going to go too far with that. Okay, let me wipe my fingers because, by golly, and it looks like a crazy mess, doesn't it? But I'm okay with crazy messes. How about you? Which I have one right here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go like this. We're going to move the paint. We're going to move the paint. Not a whole lot, just enough. Just enough. And I can even take my hand, as you can see right here. Take my hand and kind of catch it and bring it back. Then we'll bring it down just a little like this because I don't want to mess up too much, but the waves are kind of crazy. Alright, let's bring it this way a little bit and cover some of that. Don't want to lose too much of my orange. Let's see how it's filling in. We'll bring it down. Bring it back. Let's bring it over this way now. And then we're going to torch. And all I'm doing is moving this back and forth to fill in my spots. Now I still have some spots. I still have my spots. And I can fill those in when I swipe. By golly, this is a messy painting, you know? Okay, got myself a good towel that gets it. So I might take one of my spoons here and I can just do this real quick to fill in those spots because really there's only a few. I'm not real worried about it. And the sides will be covered, so I'm not worried about those either. Wow, look at that top. Isn't that gorgeous? Let me see if I can move some of that sky, that sunset. See how everything's moving this way? Okay, got a little spot right there. Anybody else have allergies? Man, in Tennessee, the trees are in bloom and it is not good. I have a little bit right here that I just don't have enough, so I'm going to squirt some of my bottle here. Don't have enough. Maybe a little bit of the white. And then I'm going to swirl it around, kind of like this, just to get some. There we go. Some down there, because oops, and here's another area. We'll do another color down here. Okay. Alright, that looks good. Does everything look covered? I think it does. So what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to take this simple, it's like a plastic sheeting. It was part of a report cover when I was in nursing school. Alright. So I'm going to start over here, and what you're going to do is you're going to take it and just let it lay. Just lay. See how it just lay? Don't go too hard at the edge there. Oops. And I'm going to just pull it over. And you see those little bubbles coming over? This is just a simple swipe. I'm going to clean my, and see how the sky is starting to bubble up? We can take other things to swirl it, and we can do that very well. Alright. You can also use your little spatula if you want. Some people do. I'm going to kind of fill that in. But as you can see, my paint's going to be filled in. Some people take what we call swipe color and they swipe all the way across, and I can do that. But I think I just want to do this and see what I can get. Okay? Let's see if that one's not too... Let's try this one with the top blue. It's a little bit... Keep this one a little bit straighter. And I'm just swiping across. See the colors coming up? Okay. And shall I use this larger one, or shall I use the handy dandy butter baster? Because there's nothing straight about the ocean. Bring it up, bring it down. And this is a great blending tool. You can also catch your sides with it a little bit. If you see that your sides aren't quite covered, then you can take it. Always wipe it off as best as you can. On this one here, you just wipe it off as best as you can. It gets stuck inside, but that should be okay and not make a difference in this particular art. Okay. Now, of course, this is here is abstract. So because it's abstract, it's what your eye sees. But I don't know about you. I kind of like it. And this one is just maybe some little white caps. We can go back in there and do that too. Make little white caps. And here's the last. Closest to the shore. Alright, let's move it just a little this way and mix it up just a little bit more. And I'm going to take this, and where I've got a little bit of paint that didn't, mighta coulda used, that's a southern term, huh? Mighta coulda used. Well, anyhow, this is most beautiful. Now I'm not finished with it because we're going to go ahead and torch it. Okay, and that's going to bring up some of these bubbles. And of course, I have paint all over me, so it's all over my torch, but I'm not worried about it. There we go. See the differences in the... I'll bring this up closer so you can see it. This is popping bubbles, but it's also activating that silicone that we put in there that brings up those cells. Now sometimes, and a lot of times actually, paint, just mixing it together, if it's an opaque or a transparent, just mixing certain paint colors together will give you cells. Okay, well, I don't think I'm quite finished yet, so I'm not going to do too much, because you can get yourself in trouble by doing too much. And I'm just taking my extras. I'm not really going to want to waste a whole lot, but I got a few little spots where maybe I got a little close. Make sure my edges, so here's some edges down here that you can't see, but you just take your finger and just dab it on. Who remembers a little dabble, do you? Now that's showing my age. A little dabble, do you? Dippity-doo. Really, that was more my sister's time. I didn't really use dippity-doo, but my sister did. There's quite a bit up here. You see, I'm just doing this, see? Just simply filling it in. You can even take a balloon and fill that in. And I'll come back, I can finish this later. But while I have the paint, while it's ready, let's just go ahead and do it. Oop, kind of got wild on that one. Okay, there we go. Now I wanted to show you something right here. Because in the sky, you've got the reflection. See it right here? Didn't that turn out pretty? The reflection of the darker shoreline. Now I could make that more determinate, but I'm not gonna. Alright, so sometimes you have little, I might not be able to, there's not that much. I'm gonna not do it. Let's bring that here as a little swipe without messing with too much there. Okay, well, you know what? I think I've got most of my edges, and if I haven't, I'll fix them after camera. And when this dries, I will surely show it on my next video. If you have any ideas that you would like for me to do or try, or what colors, if you have a favorite, let's see if we can't do something with a favorite color. But I think this is most gorgeous. I'm trying to make sure my edges, and sometimes I don't like the way it kind of changes, so I just I want to blend that in like that, okay? Nothing wrong with messing with it, but you got to be careful like I did over here. And I got that blue blob. Well, I don't want that blue blob, so I'm going to go ahead and fix that, okay? Take a little bit of this and just swipe. Oh, that blue blob is still there. I may have to work on that one, y'all, but who cares, right? Okay, let me raise it up. We'll let that drip on down. I'm going to raise this up and let you see some details as much as possible. Does that not look like an ocean? I want to be there. And then the sunset, see how it changes up? I think this is absolutely gorgeous. And I can't wait to see it dry. I can see I've got some stuff on the back that needs to be fixed, but I can do that off camera. Okay, my little gadget fell. And all these is little cookie cutters from the Dollar Tree. And I did a cardinal no-no. Be careful not to put anything over top. If your gloves are drippy, don't put your hands over them, okay? Here's another little blob, but I don't know if I'm okay with that. Kind of wispy blue. I kind of like that now. Yeah, I might put a little bit of wispy. Add some extra blue. I'm not going to waste, so let's add some dark. Here's some dark right here. Because you know, as the sky gets darker, there's still hints of blue in it, right? There we go. Just hints. We don't want too much. Just hints. And this will blend in, so I'm not worried about it, and I can blend it in like that. Alrighty, well, I believe this is done. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, go ahead and like, subscribe, hit that bell for all notifications. It would definitely make me a happy girl. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Toodaloo. Bye-bye.